or is it Vieira? I went to a pronunciation website to make sure I got it right. It said it's Vieira.
Yeah, well, Vieira is how I pronounce it, but Vieira is the right way to pronounce it. We had the cool opportunity to play Portuguese Music Awards this year, so I learned a little bit about my own heritage and how to pronounce things. So that was cool.
That is very cool. Where was the Portuguese Music Awards that you were playing at?
That was out in near Boston. It's New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
So East Coast.
Awesome. So we started the show today with the lead the namesake track of your first album called Three Little Words, and you've got a new album coming out here, a new EP coming out. We're going to be featuring your main song off that, the first single called Hands Down. But I'd love to hear about your background, where you're from. I know you're in Pittsburgh now, and I'd love to hear about your experience of discovering this musical talent, because you have a unique story that isn't it isn't the story of I was born out of the womb a musician. It was something you kind of came to, from what I read.
Yeah, it's true. So I grew up in upstate New York, Vestal, New York, for all of our people out there. And I moved down to Pittsburgh when I went to college. I went to Robert Morris University. And prior to that, I did very little music. We got to build acoustic guitars in high school, which is probably the coolest class you can ever take. And our teacher there, Kevin Ledoux, some guy, great Luther, and we just, it was a special thing because I had this guitar that I made with my own hands, and I was like, well, I better start doing something with it. And a lot of times in college you have more free time than you would elsewhere, so I started playing around, started writing songs, and kind of just slowly found my way, and now things are where they're at now, and so that's cool.
That's great, man. So you're in Pittsburgh right now, and I know Pittsburgh from growing up as a big sports town, right? They love the Penguins, they love the Steelers there. I remember my first ever NFL game that I went to go see was the Washington Redskins against the the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was in Pittsburgh right there. And I know you've got a sports background here as well. I see you're getting is somebody joining you?
Oh yeah, this is Jim. Jim's joining us.
Hey Jim,
we're on the radio, Jim. So, but yeah, sports are a big influence, and moving down to Pittsburgh was cool, having a bunch of sports teams here, and professional sports being a major factor of the city. So that's always a nice plus being around here.
Absolutely. So can you help me understand a little bit more about the details of this upcoming EP? I love this sound, this song, Hands Down. This thing is awesome. I've been playing it. I had my daughter in here before. She's like, play it again. She really likes that song too. So I'd love to hear about kind of the influence
awesome.
that has kind of brought this next EP out. And when will the EP release? I know Hands Down is the first radio single that you've got coming off this album. So what's brought this album together?
Well, it was just about time. As a songwriter, you're constantly writing and constantly creating. And I think at one point here, I haven't had music come out for a while, and I was saying, all right, let's get this thing going. So we put together a collection of songs and called up Mike to produce it, and things just went really fast. From the guys we brought in to record to, just the production of everything went real fast, and we're really, really excited and really looking forward to where it can take us and the sound that came out of it.
So when is when will the songs be available for listeners of this show, other shows? Your fans, I'm sure, have been awaiting this because that awesome album, Three Little Words, that you had was released back in 2014. So we're just a couple years later. The anticipation is building. Where and when can people get this EP?
We're hoping to have it out in April here, and then we're going to be sending Hands Down out to national radio in January, and really right now. So. That's kind of a huge thing for us, and really looking forward to it. So stay tuned for the spring, we'll keep you guys involved, and be sure to check it out.
That's great. And so do you have some upcoming shows that you're going to be featuring some of these songs at in Pittsburgh, or are you guys planning a tour to go along with the release of this in April?
Yeah, we're working towards setting some things up tour wise, kind of doing some of the East Coast regional stuff. Being from Pittsburgh and being from New York, it helps out having fan bases in both places. So checking some of that stuff out, and then as far as performing, this was probably our busiest year ever, and we're kind of slowing down for the holidays, give the guys a little break, and pick things back up in the spring. So.
That's awesome.
It's been good,
so I really appreciate you letting us feature this song even ahead of the radio release. This song, hands down. And so, right before we play that, though, where can our listeners go to support your music, to learn more about your background, and to just stay plugged in for when this gets released?
Yeah, well, we're on the social medias, and if you pop over to frankvieira.com. And I always joke my last name's like the hardest thing to spell in the world, but it's like Old McDonald, E-I-E-I. So it's frankvieira.com, and check it out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and fire it up for the so it'll be good.
Awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today on Pop Song Tech, and I wish you all the best of luck, and want to stay connected with you here, and anything we can do to help you promote the album and promote the song and feature it and other songs as you've got them coming out. We're so excited to feature your music here.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and thanks to Shelby for reaching out for me too. So I appreciate you guys getting in touch. You got it. So I am Otis Ranger, and here on Pop Song Tech, we've got Frank Vieira with his first single off the upcoming EP. This is Hands Down.
Hands down, you're the prettiest thing I've seen. And not just in this room, in this bar, in this state, or even in my dreams. You're the kind of girl that makes a man wait, take everything off of his plate and just slow down. You baby right now. You know that you got me right where you want me. You got me all wrapped up, tied down with the thought of your touch. So whenever you want it, you baby, I'm on it. And I'm a fool, I'm a sucker, I'm a loving lover of you now. Hands down, you look better than I do in that t-shirt. With your happy half smile and your own kind of style, girl, got me turned up like a lion on a big city night, and high in the high on the Rocky Mountain side of legal. Yeah, what you doing to me, girl? 'Cause baby, you've got me. You're right where you want me. You got me all wrapped up, tied down with the thought of your touch. So whenever you want it, baby, I'm on it. And I'm a fool, I'm a sucker, I'm a loving lover of you now. Hands down, hands down. And I'm a fool, I'm a sucker, I'm a loving lover of you now. Baby, you got me right where you want me. You got me all wrapped up, tied down with the thought of your touch. So whenever you want it, baby, I'm on it. And I'm a fool, I'm a sucker, I'm a loving lover of you now. I'm a fool, I'm a sucker, I'm a loving lover of you now.
That was the podcast debut ahead of the radio release of Frank Vieira's newest single called Hands Down. And I want to sincerely thank Frank for joining us in studio today. Great interview right there. And hey, we're on to the tech portion of Pop Song Tech. And today we're talking about the technology that is going to take perhaps you, perhaps me, perhaps people that we know, kids, grandkids of ours, whatever it's going to be when they get here, off to Mars. And I got to say, this topic has been stuck in my head for over a year. Since I first heard Cher complain that if Donald Trump won the United States presidential election, she was leaving the planet and moving to Mars. Well, Cher, guess what I've got for you? Some bad news here, because I don't know if you've been paying attention to the U.S. Presidential politics cycle, but, well, it happened.
At a fundraiser for Hillary Clinton hosted by Cher, the singer spoke to attendees of the event about the need for young people with fresh ideas and energy in government. "We're fading," said the Believe singer. "Not fast, but we're fading." She also stated that if Donald Trump wins the election, "I'm going to have to leave the planet."
There it was. So she stated that about a year ago. And that's been in my mind since I saw him rising. I kept thinking, wow, Cher is really going to have to leave the planet and going off to Mars or the moon or wherever it happens to be. And, it's only been 2 months since Elon Musk kind of laid out the blueprints for how Cher might go to Mars. And that is the subject of our show today, the technology portion of Pop Song Tech. We're going to talk about this plan of Elon Musk's here for how he expects, as part of his SpaceX program, and Elon Musk is the founder of Tesla and the electric cars and all those things. Well, he's got this great plan for kind of creating a shuttle bus service to and from Mars. Prior to Elon Musk's vision, there was another one. I believe it was called One Mars, and they were looking for about 100 people that they would narrow down and that would volunteer to leave the planet with no option of returning home. So that was kind of the original vision. Well, Elon Musk comes along and not too long thereafter says, we can do this one better. Just like the freight ships cross to and from the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, carrying all that freight and cargo, why not create a long-run route here between the United States and Mars? Well, not the United States. Well, perhaps it was the United States, but between Earth and Mars. And so I've been curious to kind of dig into this, and I figured I'd dig into it with you, my friends here at Pop Song Tech, so we could learn about this together. And according to space.com, I've got an article here from Mike Wall from September 27th this year, only about 2 months ago. Now we know how Elon Musk plans to get 1 million people to Mars. At a conference in Mexico in September, the SpaceX founder and CEO unveiled the company's interplanetary transport system called ITS, which will combine the most powerful rocket ever built with a spaceship designed to carry at least 100 people to the red planet per flight. If all goes according to plan, the reusable ITS will help humanity establish a permanent self-sustaining colony on the red planet within the next 50 to 100 years. Musk said at the International Astronautical Congress in Guadalajara, quote, "What I really want to do here is make Mars seem possible. Make it seem as though it's something we could do in our lifetimes and that you can go," he said. The ITS rocket will be more or less a scaled-up version of the first stage of SpaceX's Falcon 9 booster, Musk said, but the 254-foot-tall ITS booster will feature 42 Raptor engines, whereas the Falcon 9 is powered by 9 Merlins. When combined with its crewed spaceship, the ITS will stand a full 400 feet high. Musk wrote on Twitter, "That would make it the largest space flight system ever built, taller even than NASA's legendary Saturn V moon rocket." The Raptor engine, which SpaceX recently test-fired for the first time, is about the same size as Merlin, but 3 times more powerful, Musk said. ITS will therefore be an incredibly potent machine capable of lofting 300 tons.